We are at Arthur Street Elementary, first grade, Mrs. Urick's class.
Is everyone ready for hybrid today?
Yes!
Okay, great. I'm going to explain our agenda and what we're doing. And everything today, our lesson, our hybrid lesson, is based on a story from our reading, writing workshop book. We're going to work on the story and the skills in the story. So let's review, because we did read this all together, whole group. And now I want to see how well you can read with a buddy and what you can do with our skills in our stations. Our first station is our direct, and this will be the green group. Our green group will be working on long A words. Boys and girls, make the sound of long A. Very good. Now we're going to show and tell. I want you to look at your name tag. If you have a long A sound in your name, would you show it to your neighbor and tell them about it? Some of you might have short. Do you know the difference between short A and long A? Show your neighbor, show and tell. Some have it, some don't. Focus, focus.
Everybody focus.
All right, there's different ways to make long A. We've discussed this too. We have vowel pairs, AI in rain. We have AY in away. We have made, consonant, vowel, consonant, magic E. What we're going to do in my group, in the direct group, is we're going to make words with our magic wand. This one starts off as consonant, vowel, consonant. If we add a magic E, this is making the A long. What does it become, Jeremy?
Tape.
Tape, very good. All right, first grade, for collaborative, we're doing buddy readers. What you're going to do with our book, you're going to locate our story, Nate the Snake is Late. And you need to locate all the long A words with your buddy. You're going to sit with your buddy and you're going to work together. How do we read with our buddy? Do you remember our song? All together?
Elbow to elbow, knee to knee. I read to you and you read to me. Elbow to elbow, knee to knee. Book in the middle so we both can see.
You have to be really, really good A detectives, okay? Looking for long A words. So once you do find them, you have a clipboard, and we have Nate the Snake. You're going to write all the words you can find with your buddy. Now remember, we help each other. We're helpful, not hurtful. We say things to each other like, good job, let me help you with this word, all positive, right? You're going to write your words. If you need Nate's head, you can use the head. And then with your highlighter, you're going to highlight, I have all the materials right here, highlight what's making that long A sound. Is it AY? Is it A and magic E? Is it AI? You are searching for that and locating them and then recording them right here on your clipboard. After you're done with your Nate the Snake, he's going to swim over here. You're going to use a magnet and just put him in the lake, because later on we will discuss all our snakes and what you found. Some of you work really quick because you're good detectives. So right over here we have our story map, and you're going to work with this with your buddy also. You're going to find where's the setting. Where does it take, Juliet?
Place.
Where does it take place? Right, if it's imaginary, whatever it is, where is Nate the Snake? Where does most of it happen? How about the characters? What are characters? Chloe?
Animal or a person.
Right, it could be an animal or a person. You're going to write a sentence. Something that happened in the beginning, something that happened in the middle, and something that happened at the end. And you're sharing this with your buddy. Put this here. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, so we're all set with our collaborative. Our independent, you're working on your own. Independent means you're doing it all by yourself. We're doing I-ready reading. All right, if you have a problem, I want you to go to your leader. Each group is going to have a leader. Remember, ask 3 before me, okay? But the first person you should go to is your leader. All right? And if everybody has a problem and they don't understand something, then you raise your hand. All right, first grade. Are we ready to have fun in hybrid?
Yes.
Okay. Listen carefully. My leaders. Let me see. I will pick a leader for the GREN green group. Raise your hand, green group. My leader today will be the red. Wear that crown proudly. I'm picking responsible people. How about BLUE, blue? Janet, you're the leader. And RED, red. Come up for your crown. Oh, Dominic is already kings. Listen, I would like my direct group, you know you're going to your station, you're reading the poem until I get there, and then you work together. My collaborative, that's my blue group. Please get in position, get with your buddies. And my RED red group, you're on I ready reading. If you have a problem with the computer, ask your leader. Please spread them out.
To knee, elbow to elbow, knee to knee. Look in the middle so we both can see. Snake the snake to snake, so we both can see. It's okay. It's nice, but I have time. So then, wait. At last, I'm on second. But I think I see what I have one. This way and this way. Dogs up away. I will not think they wish to play. At last, the sun is hot. And I never. Then I went up and gazed at the clock. Snake,
Tell me what word you're making. Okay, do one at a time. Let's do one at a time. What's your word? The star says short, a short sound, right? And that magic E is changing that sound. Great, very good. You're gonna write it. You may share the markers. And write each one you make on your A. On your A. What word did you make? If it was can, and we put the magic E, it becomes what? It makes the A long. So you're going to write that word, then you have to read them back to me. Whatever words you write, what you read.
Okay. It is 8 o'clock and I say now, which I have made my own face. I don't want they wish to play. I tell them at last.
Boys and girls, as we're talking about our stories that we read, we love to talk about genres. Let's say it.
Genres.
Oh, in their fancy voice.
Genres.
Thank you, my fancy friends. All right, who can tell me what genre means? What is a genre? What does that mean? Joanna?
A type of story.
A type of story. Excellent. Look at your buddies. Say, a genre is a type of story.
A genre is a type of story.
Now, who can tell me one of the genres we've learned so far in first grade? Caitlin? Fantasy. What does fantasy mean? Not real. Excellent. Liam?
Realistic fiction.
Realistic fiction. What does that mean?
It's not real, but it could happen.
It didn't happen yet, but it really could, right? Everything in there could. Very well spoken. Very good. Oh, Zippy. Fiction. What does fiction mean? Not real. It's fake. Excellent. Another one. Gianella?
Folktale.
A folk tale. What's a folk tale? Who knows? Adriana?
Story.
It is a type of story. Today, when we're in guided reading, when you come up to the direct group, the genre we're working on today is a folk tale. So all the stories we're going to read today are folk tales. Okay. Now, another important thing we always like to talk about, the author's purpose. Why the author chose to write that book. Who can tell me an author's purpose? Emily?
To make us laugh.
To make us laugh. Very, very good. Do some of our books make us giggle?
Yes.
So does it work?
Yes.
How about when we read Penguin in Love? Did that make us giggle? That was definitely the author's purpose in that one. Very good. Okay. All right, show me thumbs up if you're ready for rotations. All right, who's ready to do a great job? Okay. As always, at the end of rotations, when we line up for lunch, I'll be asking what you're proud of. You line up every day. Think of something I want, as you're going to rotations, at the end, think, wow, I'm really proud of myself. I did that very well. Okay? All right. How about, can I have foxes go to the computers, please? Zebras may go to collaborative. The cheetahs are going to stay up here with me.
How do we know who's foxes, cheetahs, and zebras?
I used to have pictures up and their names, but at this point in the year, they just know. And then, because the groups are so fluid and flexible, if they switch, I just tell them.
You just tell them you're a fox, you're a cheetah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because some of them have gone to different groups. So, okay.
And what do we have here?
Okay.
These are cheetahs?
These are cheetahs.
And cheetahs will be
Cheetahs are the ones who are really, really working hard to get their first grade
get
standards.
their first grade standards. Okay, and then the foxes?
Foxes are middle of the road, getting them, getting
Okay.
those standards.
And our cheetahs are,
Our zebras
Zebras.
over there at Collaborative.
they got the standards.
They are going to be ready for second grade.
Okay.
So everybody will be, but we're working hard, okay? And with my cheetahs, every day the first thing we do is we review all of our sight words,
Okay.
just for extra practice, all right? You ready? Watch, you don't know which order I'm going in.
Under the sheet, by place be walked. No could have
What is this?
lived.
What rule is this not following? Carolyn? It's not following the silent E rule. That's right, because if it did, I would say it's long sound, I. Right, so it's live. That's why it's a sight word. We just have to remember it by sight.
Are there
That's the over there.
3 of
Okay, which feet in the back little?
Let me stop you for a second.
Yes,
The collaborative.
I'm sorry.
How do they know what to do?
Because we went over it. Because
In whole group?
I show them in whole group, so I didn't do that now, because I
Okay.
did it. Is that okay? Or do
No,
you
that's
want
fine. That's fine. That's fine. You see,
Okay.
I'm just, for purposes of demonstration, what this is supposed to look like. You taught this collaborative activity to the whole class?
it? Yes, they all sat in a big circle.
Okay.
That's what I do with all my collaborative. Okay,
Right.
math, we read. So then we'll all sit in a big circle in the morning. I show them how to play the game. They know who the tiny teacher is, who's going to start.
So there's a tiny teacher there.
Uh-huh. Boys and girls, raise your hand if you're starting today. Who's the starter, the tiny teacher?
Who's the tiny teacher in this group?
Who's my tiny teacher in here? Yep.
And what's a tiny teacher do? Anybody want to tell me? What's a tiny teacher do? I don't know. You have to tell me.
She starts first.
Okay.
Okay.
And then if there's a magnadoodle, they're the ones who say it's time to erase. You know, things like that. So they know they're the kind of one that keeps it going, tell people when to pick another word out of a mystery box.
Okay.
And
Now
then-
that collaborative group, is that differentiated at all? And if so, how?
They're all being responsible for writing 12 contractions today, matching the snowmen and the little
All the
snowmen's
groups.
hats.
So all the groups have a task they all have
All
to do.
the groups are doing that because this is a review. We've been working on contractions. They've learned it in direct, whole group, and they've also played other games using contractions at collaborative.
Okay.
So now I'm expecting all the groups today to be able to find the 12 matching contractions. But the way it's differentiated is the groups who do finish and have the ability, then there's handwriting paper right there along with their assessment sheets. They know if they finish all 12, they're going to start writing the contractions in a sentence.
And that's the table there.
That's the blank, so that's what I'm expecting. And that's my assessment, so I know that if they're getting contractions.
Okay.
Good. And also in the collaborative, because we've practiced it whole group, they know, and the agenda is over there, they know the steps. Once they find the matching contraction, the child whose turn it is says it alone, and then they say ready, and then the entire group says it together for extra practice. Then they write it on their assessment paper. Oh, I love the manners. Good job, chickies. All right. Oh, I love everybody's getting their fingers right on that title. Before we read the title, let's look at the genre box. What does that say? Folk tale. Okay, a folk tale. Remember, Elijah told us earlier, a folk tale means that the story is passed down through generations. That means mommies and daddies read it to their children. And that means now if we read your story, you would grow up and you would tell your kids. Okay? And a lot of times somebody learns a lesson. So let's see if one of the characters learned a lesson in this story too. All right? Let's read the title.
King of the
Animals. Not a good thing to do. We don't do that, do we? Okay. All right. Who thinks they need the reading today? Nice. Yeah. When we read, what's the most important thing? What's the most important thing about reading?
Knowing how to sound out.
We have to know how to sound them out. Should we just guess? No. If we just guess, we're not going to get any meaning from it. So we have to stop and sound them out. That's a good thing. It's okay if you have to stop and sound them out. That's good. Okay?
So if you keep reading, you keep getting better.
If you keep reading, you keep getting better. That's right. And we want to make sure we comprehend. Joanne, can you get the door ready? Make sure we comprehend. What does that mean? We comprehend, we understand what we read. Excellent. You kiss your brain. You did fabulous. All right, nice. Put the books on the pile, please. All right, if you're on the computers, boys and girls, you may log off. Zebras, please put your papers on the table. Make sure your names are on. And leave everything as nicely as we found it. Good morning, Miss Val. How are you? How are you? Good. Okay, the boxes are coming over to your group. Okay. Maybe we could just see if they get a good start. And then, how about, you have Alex and Beth. Who don't know how to read and make sure the story.
Okay, just Alex?
Just Alex. Okay, good. Thank you.
So they're resetting the game.
They always know. We always leave things as nicely as we found them. So they're going to set it up for the next group. And then the next group will be ready to start. Again, they know who the tiny teacher is and they know who's going to start the game.
If you want to I want to come over there and have a look at what that is, this collaborative activity.
Okay. Now, Phil, is this okay so far?
So this is contractions. And what do they have to do?
Do you want them to tell you?
Yeah, someone tell me what you have to do here. Go ahead, sweetheart, tell me.
The first person has to get a snowman and find out what goes to a snowman.
So who's the first person?
Me.
How do you know that you're the first person?
Because the teacher told me
And you're the what?
first person that goes.
Are you the tiny teacher?
Yes.
Okay, so let me see you go first. Show me what you do.
What was not was.
what group is this?
These are the zebras who are ready for second grade.
Okay. So there are on,
Up, yeah, on. Right
On.
now, on. Getting to a little of some.
Okay.
Sometimes we can use the green level readers.
okay.
Sometimes we use those. So, okay. Okay, so as
But
you
at
can see,
this
it's
point, start top.
yeah. Okay, so as you can see, it's a different book.
Okay.
All right.
And you're not going over sight words with this group?
No, we do that whole group every day, one time.
But then-
cheetahs get it twice.
Cheetahs. Only cheetahs.
Only cheetahs.
Okay.
Foxes get it about 3 times a week.
Got it.
So, okay. What do we call this page? All I have to do is read the title. That makes sense. Ready?
Fly to the rescue.
Check out how many words are in here. How many?
210.
Oh, no way. Good. Can we do it? Who thinks we could definitely do it? Okay, ready? Let's read it all together. Now, I know sometimes we read one page each. Today we'll read it all together. Okay, ready? Long
Ago, there was a splendid river.
It's page 6.
Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to ask your teacher a couple of questions, all right? So just hang tough. What's the objective in each group?
Our objective today is comprehension and finding the contractions that are going along with the collaborative activity. But about 95% of the time, my direct group is reading. Try to really work hard. I love the hybrid model because this gives me the opportunity to see their strengths and weaknesses in reading, any fluency issues, if they can't segment and blend, if they're having trouble with digraphs, anything like that, I can target now and also see the comprehension level for their reading. So every day when we're reading together, I just like to basically just work on fluency and comprehension on a daily basis.
And you're using just 2 of the guided reading books for both?
Yes. Now by tomorrow, the zebras are going to be reading the green book that goes with this one, also sweet. But a lot of times I like them to start out with the blue, which is the on level, and then go on from there. But even for them at this point here, I like them to do the on level also, and then go to the above. And the lowest, we don't use a lot, so I'm kind of happy about that. We don't need the purple levels. But for this right now, for where they're at, I think these are the best ones for them.
And I know a question is going to be, how do you get the behavior the way it is? Like, look at this. Every single one of those collaborative groups, 100% of those kids are on task and doing exactly what they should be done. How do you get it to that point?
At the beginning of the year, a big way for that, because if you're going to have any issues, usually it isn't collaborative, because they're over there alone. You want to make sure they're on task, not fooling around. Are they actually doing the activity as a practice for that skill? So to try to make sure that's happening, beginning of the year, well, first of all, I'll go over and I'll monitor them once in a while. I will walk over, so just my presence being there. A lot of times if I have an aide, which might only be 2 or 3 half hours a week, but they can go over and help. Then I make sure that, maybe I want the cheetah group there when I have an aide, things like that, so she can help facilitate. The best thing I've found to make it run smoothly over there is to model it. So instead of just telling them, you have to speak softly, you have to play the game, don't be fooling around, it works so much better if you actually model the correct and the incorrect way to do it. Now, for instance, I'll make myself the stinker, and I'll go over and we all watch, but I'll have a small group, and I'll do a lot of things incorrectly. My voice will be too loud, I won't wait for turns, I'll be taking the things, I'll be talking to them about SpongeBob, and they correct me and say, no, your voice is too loud, you have to use an inside voice. Or they'll say, you have to wait your turn, things like that. Another way to model is how they can help each other, because they can learn so much from each other. So, for instance, if somebody has letters backwards in a math collaborative activity, if they subtracted and they were supposed to be adding, try to show them how to talk to each other nicely and help each other without criticizing or making the other child feel.
But this is
feel
all
badly.
modeled whole group, whole group, whole group.
Whole group at the beginning of the year. And
Right.
as I keep showing them the incorrect things, they keep telling me the correct way to do it, and then I say, okay, well then show me. If my voice was too loud, show me the inside voice I should use. If I say, you know, any of those things, I make them show the children then, and they all get to practice how to do it correctly. Another great way, it fits right in with our behavior program, our school-wide pride program, because many times when I see them working nicely over there like that, we all stop, we clap for them, we tell them great job, and I mark their cards so that they know that they are doing exactly what I want them to be doing, and and we have to teach them when you do good things.
Good things happen.
Now I noticed at the one session, one of the little girls picked up a snowman and had no clue, could not find it. Another kid went to her and said, "Do you need help?" And then she said yes. Everybody helped her. They did their thing, and then they moved on. Did you teach them how to do that?
Yes. The kids aren't going to come in just knowing how to speak to each other nicely and how to ask for help or how to offer help to another child. Oftentimes it'll just be criticism. You know, they might just be, saying like, "That's wrong, it's backwards," or just not saying anything at all and just kind of ignoring them. So again, that has to be practiced and modeled and reinforced in a positive way. And then when they see the correct way to do it and how to help each other, I think that makes you feel good, doesn't it, boys and girls? Do you guys like when you can help each other?
Yes.
Yeah?
So you spend a lot of time on behavior and teaching behaviors.
A
Day
lot.
one.
A lot, okay? Like for instance, let's see, pretend, Rosalia, if you didn't know this word, and you tried and tried and tried to sound it out, Emily, what would you do?
I can help her.
Okay, and how would you feel when you help her?
I'll feel happy.
Would you? Okay, and what would you tell her? Yes, because we have to work on our manners too.
What would
So-
you tell her? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I would tell her I will help her, and I'll be proud for her because then she will know the word.
And you'll be what?
Proud
I'll
for
be
her.
proud for her.
You'll be
because
proud for her
she'll
because
know
then
the
she'll
word.
know the word. So if someone else gets something, you're happy for them.
Are you boys and girls, are you happy for others when they get something even if you don't? Today when you saw Mr. Banana wearing the crown, were you happy for him?
Yes.
Or did we get like, no, I'm mad because I don't have the crown? No.
I was happy for
That's right, you want to be happy for both of them, right? And we clapped, and we're going to wave to them in the cafeteria, and we're going to clap for them, right? Do you get happy inside when you're happy for other people?
yes.
I do
in our
too.
hearts.
In our hearts? That's right. So, as you can see, we spend a lot of time on that and just positive reinforcement and letting them know that they get a good feeling inside from helping each other. And obviously, if they're not doing the right thing, they're going to leave that activity. If someone was over there throwing snowmen and hats right now, they'd be sitting down. And they will lose out on something, whether it's 10 minutes of gym, whether it's an entire gym class. Usually I'll just start in here and I'll just have them as free time at the end of the day, which is about 10, 15 minutes before dismissal. If all their work is done, homework is done, they've been wonderful to each other, showing respect throughout the school, they get 10, 15 minutes at the end to choose whatever they'd like to do. So they would certainly lose that if they were not acting the way they should or bothering each other on the computers or anything else.
We are in a first grade classroom at Hazel Township Early Learning Center. This is Miss Bell's first grade class, and this is the way she does her groups. Miss Bell, you want to explain what you have, how you do it?
They're grouped in their reading groups for 3 groups, and they are grouped by ability. And the math groups are mixed. And today we will be using our mixed groups for reading just because some of our stronger friends are going to help us with our sight words.
This is a really nice idea on how to group children, and you could move them real easily by just erasing and writing them down. This is a really sharp idea. And then you can mix them there. You can mix them from group to group, just erasing their name. So she has her reading here. And then she has her math. And Miss Bell simply has on the board, you want to talk to them about will you do with this?
So this just explains for reading where they're going to be. Direct, they know that they're with me. Collaborative is always on the carpet. And independent is they know they're on the computer, and I have the book so they know that they're on reading for their reading rotations. And math, when we do our 2 groups, we do direct with me and independent on the computer for math.
On math, you don't do 3 groups.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
Not all the time. And then they just simply know which group they're in by looking at the.
Yes, they know their group names. So when we line them up today, they will go by their group names. And we have dots on our floor, so they know where they're supposed to line up. There are 3 different colored dots, a purple dot, an orange dot, and a red dot, and they know where they are in the room. So they know where to line up for each station.
Very nice.
All right, boys and girls, today for collaborative, you're going to do what we did yesterday. You're going to get your fish paper, and you're going to need a red and a blue crayon, and there are pencils already here in the green basket. You fish for 1 word. You write your word on one of your blank fish. You say the word. You check with your group leaders, and your group leaders, you know who you are. If your group leader tells you that your word is correct, you circle it blue. And if they tell you that it's wrong, you circle it red and you put your fish back into the box.
Misspell, how do they know who's the group leader?
The group leaders are pre-picked. So they are our children that are showing stronger sight word skills.
Okay.
So since they're doing a
So
sight word
they
today.
know before the group starts who's the group leader, and the
Yes.
group leader has a specific job in mind.
Yes, the group leader has to help their other friends in the group tell them if the word that is on their fish, if they said the word right or wrong. And if it's right, they get to keep the fish and circle it blue on their paper. And if it's wrong, they circle it red and they put the fish back into the box for the next person.
Okay.
All right, so my first group that's going to line up here on the purple dot, I would like my Sully group. If you are in the Sully group, please come line up on the purple dot. All right, you're going to pass these out, and you remember who your group leaders are. My Nemos, I want on the orange dot, please. You are going to go on the computers for reading. Line up on the orange dot first, please. And my Olafs, please line up on the red dot. Red dot. Olafs, you will be coming to me. Oh, sorry, Olafs, I forgot to tell you to get a pencil before you come to me. Go back and get a pencil and go back and line up. Alright, and boys and girls, remember when you hear the bell, that means that it's time to clean up and you're going to line up on your next dot. Alright, ready? Go to your group.
Mr. Latella to the office, please. Mr. Latella to the office.
Wait for everyone else, okay? Happy.
Give me the blue one. So. Upon. Ago. Boy. Girl. How. Old. People.
Briandy, can you come and help Angel, please? Alright, people. After. These are our new words for this week. So everyone, let's say after.
After.
Buy. What kind of buy?
Can I buy something in the store?
Yes, like I can buy something at the store. Good.
Done.
Everyone say it.
Done.
Every. It has our word every in it, but it's the word every. And
Where's your mother?
boys and girls, we're gonna do some Alright. When you get this paper, put your name on top. We're going to do something new today. If you look here, our paper says A, B, C, order.
So what do you do after he said the word?
We're going to put our words in the order of the alphabet.
Okay,
So we're going to start.
okay, write it
Here are
down.
your words on this side. All of our words have double O. What does double O say? Oh, can everyone say O? Alright. So, what's the first letter of the alphabet?
I have 9 tokens.
A. Alright, when you want to look down on your words here, do you see the word that's first with the letter J? Raise your hand. No. Alright. What's the next letter of the alphabet? B. Do you see the word that's first with the letter B? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Alright, everyone take the word that starts with the letter B. Alright. Who can tell me what is that word? Book. Girls, in box number 1, and book is our first word that in the alphabet that we have. We're going to write it in box 1.
Okay, we're in McAdoo right now in Miss Lamson's first grade class, and she has her groups defined on the board. As you can see, she has group 1, group 2, group 3. And Miss Lamson, are these fluid groups or do they change?
They changed.
Okay.
Yes.
And then her agenda is very simple. It's on the board. Lets the children know where they go in direct, where they go into dependent, and where they go in collaborative and what they're supposed to do. Miss Lamson, in collaborative, they're going to be doing a long O activity. Did you go over that with them?
We're going over that now.
Okay.
Yep. All right, guys, what are we doing this morning? Raise your hand. What are we doing, Kyla? What are we doing? Jeremiah? You just said it before. Good job. Group 1, where are you going? Raise your hand, Group 1. Where are you going first? Thomas. The computers. And what are you going to do when you are at the computers, Group 1? Aiden.
Reading.
Ready reading? Very good. Group 2, raise your hand. Where are you going first this morning? Gavin?
Collaborative.
Good, collaborative. All right, let's do quickly what we are doing in collaborative. So you are starting off with your spelling that we've done the last couple of weeks. So you are writing your words in crayon first, and then you are writing them the second time in pencil. Raise your hand if you understand, if you remember how we're doing this. Show me. Okay, so the first time we're doing it in crayon, the second time we're doing it in pencil. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. Second thing we're doing, long O words. So you need scissors, you need glue. You're cutting out your words down on the bottom, or your pictures down on the bottom. Do you see them?
Yes.
And you're matching them to the word on the top. Okay? Sound good? You may do this with a partner. Okay? All right. And are we talking about our weekends?
No.
Are we talking about what we're doing tonight for dinner?
No.
No. Are we talking about our favorite colors?
No.
No. What are we talking about?
Spelling.
Spelling or
Last.
long what?
Oh.
Long O. Good job. Okay. Group 3, where are you starting? Group 3, raise your hand. Where are you starting, Henry?
With you.
With me. Good. You need your chairs. You do not need a pencil. Okay? Does everyone understand where they are going?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this really quick. Group 1, when you're done on the computers, where do you go next? Alfredo?
Collaborative.
Good job. Collaborative, when you are done working in your groups with your partner, where do you go?
With you.
Raise your hand, Aiden. Aiden?
With you.
Good, with me. Group 3, where do you go when you're done with me, Henry?
Collaborative.
No, not collaborative. Roslyn? To the computer. Very good. Okay, everybody got it?
Yes.
Good. All right, you may rotate. Go ahead. Quietly, without running. Thank you. What are you starting with first? What are you starting with first? Very good. Spelling first. Thank you. Okay, my turn first. Old.
Old.
Girl.
Girl.
Boy.
Boy.
Where are you looking? Where are your eyes supposed to be, Joshua? Right there. How.
How.
Ago.
Ago.
People.
People.
Good job. Let's do them again. My turn first. Okay. Ready? Where are your eyes, Joshua? On the what? On the words. Good. Everybody's eyes are on the words. Boy.
Boy.
How.
How.
People.
People.
Ago.
Ago.
Girl.
Girl.
Old.
Old.
Okay. My taste turn first. Think you can do it? Okay. My taste turn first. Ready? Everybody? Ago. My taste turn. People. Good job. Old.
Old.
Boy, good job. All right, let's put your BBs and then you can pop the balloons. Ready? From. Where should your eyes be, Edwin? Good job. This.
This.
At.
At.
Be.
Be.
Have.
Have.
Good job. All right, you ready? Pop the balloons.
We're in a second grade classroom at Arthur Street, Mr. Gleam. This is the way Mr. Gleam does his classes. Uses magnets on his board. And then he can move the kids around as they change from group to group. For the collaborative station, he has his rules posted, written just like a guy. Proud of him. And then the actual activity itself is right here. And they have gone over this activity so they know exactly what to do.
For collaborative today, we're going to work on the phonics, word sort, long U and short U. Okay? When you come over here, we're going to have our first group over here, second group sits here. You are going to take, you know you're working with partners. You're each going to take a map and a set of words. One student's going to play teacher, one student's going to play student. When you are finished putting all your words on here, you can check your answers, clean the board, and then switch turns. Okay? We're going to leave them right here for you to grab. Markers and erasers are in this bin right here. Okay? When we go to our independent station, we're going to go do I Ready Reading, which is on the wall over there, and make sure you use Google Chrome. And then when you work in the direct group over here with Mr. Gleam, all you have to do is bring yourself. Okay? We're going to do a long U and short U activity with our oops cards. Okay? Let's have our direct group, the Tigers, move first. So Tigers come first. Let's have our Lions go to the independent group. And the last group, Dolphins, go to the collaborative station.
You could be the teacher.
Remember your partners. If you don't remember, you can look on the wall here. You're matched up in your groups. These four, okay, well, let's see, this one. So these four should be at the first group. So it's Nicole, Drelis, Denise, and Jonathan. And then they know the next four are at the other table. I just go over that so they know. Then they can work with, sometimes I do partners, sometimes I do whole group. Like small groups, so they can either work all four together or they pick their partner. But I let them, they're pretty good, I let them choose because they're just a pretty good group. Last year I did a little differently. I had to give groups and partners because they just would be fighting over it. Okay? Hi boys and girls. We are going to play our long and short U hoops games. Okay? I'm going to read the directions to you, but we're going to leave them on the back when I let you guys play. And before we do that, we're going to go over the cards and all the words to make sure we know our sounds, and we're going to stretch them out. Okay? So what we do when we play this game, we're going to have a stack of cards. Okay, here's the directions. We're going to play with 2 or more players. Take turns reaching in and taking out one card at a time and read the word on the card. If you read it correctly, you get to keep the card. If you read it incorrectly, you get to keep the card. If you read incorrectly, you put the card back. If you pull out this card, all your cards are back. Are you ready? Let's start our timer. There we go. You ready to stretch out our words? Make sure we know where we're going. Okay, first one. Let's say, what is it? Now put our hands together. Now let's stretch it out to a jump. Ready? Jump. X. So the next one. Jump. German. German. Will you please help our new student? She struggles, and if that one's not working, but put her on a laptop, okay? All right, ready? What's this word? Sound that ready? What's this one? What would that mean? Yeah, we gotta put all our cards back. Next one. Put our hands together. Excellent. Good job. Oh, we did this one. We'll do another one. Good job, Carla. What's this one again? What's that mean? Okay. What's this one? Excellent. What's this one again? How many oops do I put in the deck? How many do you remember? We have 3 so far, but how many do I put in the whole deck? So how many more do we need? How many more are in this deck? We have 3. We're supposed to have 4. How many are left? Just 1. Ready? Oh. Are we ready to play? Okay, I think you guys know your words. Well, we're going to mix some groups up here, so you don't.
All right, what are we working on today in our groups? What kind of words? CBC words. And what are CBC words?
Consonant, vowel, consonant.
What are the vowels?
A-E-I-O-U.
And all the other letters are? Consonants. We have our snowball words that we're going to make it direct today with me. All right? Okay. So in a minute we'll split up into our paw groups and we'll come up with our goal. All right? Think about that. Okay. We need a good goal.
Okay.
Are you ready? You're working on reading. Check the sign back there. Wash.
Self-assess.
Log on. Do your work.
Log off. Wash. Self-assess.
Self-assess. And how do we self-assess? How do we self-assess? Delilah.
Is it easy or hard?
Was it easy for me? Then you circle the
Happy
happy face. If it was difficult for you, circle the X. Very good. Today it is what day? Thursday. So the column that you're looking at is the TH column. And we're using green for reading.
Okay, in Mrs. Hauser's class, after each one of the rotations, she has the children self-assess. Mrs. Hauser, you want to explain?
We have been doing this since the beginning of third quarter. The kids really are getting the hang of it now. They wash their hands before and after they use the computer. Then they come and check the day. And if they had good lessons, if they were easy for them, they circle the smiley face. If they had some trouble, they circle the X. Then I can go back and look at what Carla did on iReady for that day, and I usually can understand why they have had trouble with the lesson. It's usually something, a letter that we haven't introduced or a word group that we have not done yet. We do this for reading and for math.
I think that's fantastic.
Collaborative today. Blue pause. You'll be doing centers 1 and 2. They're right here. You're making CBC words. Match the picture and the letters. Lesson 2 or activity 2. The snowman has the sight word on his dummy. Find the hat that has the same word, please. Yellow pause. You're using activities 2 and 3. Those snowmen and the pictures of the CBC words without letters. You make the words. Purple pause. You're using activities 3 and 4. Those CBC words and the ice cream cones with the vowels. And you're looking for the scoops that have that same middle vowel sound, right?
Yes.
All right, we're going to be working one activity over there, one activity over here. Switch activities. At the end, what do we do?
Self-assess.
Self-assess. Again, today is Thursday, so we're looking for the TH column. If you finish both activities, what should you do?
Read.
All done? Read. From what?
Now this is a picture of the self-assessment for the collaborative activity. So they self-assess after each one of the stations.
If there's no recording sheet.
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Hauser, this is not the first time that these kids are seeing this collaborative activity.
No, this is the third time they'll be doing the activity on their own in collaborative. I teach the centers in direct so
Okay.
that we know how to do the centers, we know what the goals are, and then we're able to work together and teach each other. It's push pins so that they can be changed.
And this is the way Mrs. Hauser groups her kids.
The children help decide when their PAW group needs to be changed. If somebody's having some difficulty in a PAW group, we talk about it and change them to another PAW group. Similarly, if someone is doing very well and the work seems too easy in their PAW group, then we move them up to a different PAW group. But they're involved in the decision-making process.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to set our goals, don't we?
Yes.
Okay, blue paws, yellow paws, purple paws. Get together. How many words can we make on this paper? 8. So our answer has to be a number somewhere between 1 and 8. Delilah, you're purple, so let's get together. Let's come up with a good goal. What do you think you can do? Your blue paw, please. I don't hear you talking.
8.
What? Talk to your group.
I think I do 2. No, I think we should be 2. No, I think we always pick 8. I think I don't pick 8.
Explain what they're doing. Explain what these kids are doing
Right now, we're setting our student set goal. So to get their star on their paper, they'll need to meet their goal.
We'll talk about exceeding the goal and how they get an exclamation point with their star, but they're deciding amongst themselves how to come up with what they can accomplish. Is that the decision of all of you?
Yes.
Do you all think you can make 8?
Yes.
All right, 8 for a star. How will I know if you've exceeded your goal?
You're gonna make other CBC word on the back.
Other CBC words on the back? How else could you exceed your goal? What could you write?
A sentence.
A sentence using a CBC word? And that would be exceeding your goal, and you would get your exclamation point. Okay? Yellow paws.
2, 8, 2, 8,
2 and 8. That's way different. 2 is here, and 8 is already over here.
2.
All right, so we've talked before about compromising. And what is compromising? Where?
At the table.
Purple wants to start a collaborative today? Or a direct today?
Yes.
Okay. That means blue paws, you're where?
And computer.
Computers. Wash, please. Log on. Let's see. Group leaders today. Let's use our girls. Sophie, get activity 2, please. Anna, get activity 3. Go ahead. Take the clip off.
What's the job of the group leader?
She'll pick, one of them will pick children to go with them, and then we'll split apart. Anna, pick 3 boys to come over here with you. Okay, Armani and Jordy, you're with Sophie over here. Okay? If you need help, Mrs. Lutz is available. Hi. How are we? Good. Good.
Where these are those pencils?
Are they cool new pencils?
Yes.
All right. Are we sitting in the same exact order we sat in last time? All right, so we know who we are. Who are our teams? Who's going to be working together today?
Alice. I'm working together. I'm going to work together.
So the 3 of you want to work together? So Belen, do you want to work with Raquel? Caleb, who are you working with today? You're going to work with Jadriel and Delilah? Okay. Take your paper, put your name on it, please.
Ready?
Name on it. I want to see these CBC words. Make sure everyone has a turn. Make sure if it is not your turn, stay middle. Are you starting?
I need help.
You like that?
Yes.
Okay. Who's starting over here? You starting, Delilah? There you go. There your consonants. Let's see what you've got. Get your Coburn stamp on.
We're at kindergarten now, Arthur Street Elementary School in Miss Lagana's room. And this is how she puts her different groups. She has animals, safari animals for reading. And she actually has the children's picture. And she can move the pictures around for the different groups. And then when she does math, she only does a double rotation in math. She doesn't do a collaborative group in math, which is fine. And she has the 2 sea animals, so the kids know where they go in reading and in math. And this is Miss Lagana's agenda. She'll explain what she does with the agenda.
Okay, kindergarten. Today in our hybrid groups we are doing
reading. So when we are on the independent station, what will we click on? Book. Okay. Direct instruction with me will be working on beginning, middle, and ending sound, heart bingo. And collaborative will be playing roll a sight word. And if I can have 2 volunteers to show us how to play this game, can I have Lucas and Hansel? Go back to the collaborative table, please. Eyes back here, kindergarten. Okay, kindergarten, so to play this game, roll a sight word, you need to take one piece of paper. You're going to find a partner in your group. So Lucas and Hansel are partners, and they each took one paper for each of them, okay? They need a pencil, and they need to take 1 dice, okay? Take 1 for them to roll. Okay, so Lucas is going to go first. Go ahead and roll, Lucas. How many dots are on the dice? 2. Okay. So he's going to find the sight word that has 2 dots, and it's what sight word, Lucas? Little. Little, okay. So both him and Hansel are going to write this sight word in that column. Go ahead, boys. Go ahead, Lucas. Okay, so now that was Lucas's turn. Now it's Hansel's turn. They're taking turns. Now it's Hansel's turn to roll the dice. Okay, Hansel, how many dots? 3. 3, okay. What sight word has 3 dots? And, very good. So now they're both going to write and in the box. Okay? And they're going to take turns. And once they're done, okay, they're going to write a sentence on the back. My cheetahs are going to write a sentence on the back using their sight words. My zebras, you will write your sight words 3 times each. And my giraffes, you will rainbow write your words. Okay, we understand? Yeah. Are we ready to break into our groups? Yeah. Okay, let's kiss our brains. All right, I would like my cheetahs, tables 5 and 6, to go to collaborative. 3 and 4, my zebras, to go to direct instruction with me. And my giraffes, tables 1 and 2, to the computers, please. And computers, what are we clicking on? First, we're going to go around and say what is on our heart. Okay? You're welcome. And so, starting with you, Nathan, what pictures do you have on your heart? Scarf. Wool. And bird. Okay, Brian, what do you have on your heart? Okay, Eunice, what do you have on your heart? Lion. Zebra, spider, car, map. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to pass the container. You're going to reach in, pull out a letter. We're going to say the letter and the sound, and we're going to look on our hearts, see if we have anything on that picture. Ready? All right, Nathan, we'll start with you. This is not fair. I already rolled the dice. Again? Yes. What is that letter? D. What does D say? I don't. Okay, take a heart. W. What does W say? Wagon. Hi. All right, very good. Anybody else have any W words? Marley, I see one. What about web and nice? And nice. You have one. Take a heart. Put it on. Which we hear in web.